Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Moggycraft Season 2. And wow, it has been a long time, but I promised you I would return. And it has been a few months at this point since my last upload, but I have made a couple of community posts just to show you what I have been up to. And oh boy, have I been up to a lot. Let's go check out everything that I have done. And let's just start at the beginning, of course, with my main base. Well, it is, of course, the entirety of the island that is my main base. But the main building at this base, I would say, the big castle. And let's go up these stairs. And if we get to the second floor over here, yes, last time we built this kitchen and the big throne room over here, which still looks absolutely amazing. And I have added this little bar because of course this place needs some drinks. If we follow these staircases up even further, we will eventually get to the roof, which is still a little empty. I'm always open for suggestions, but right now this is pretty bare. And what else I've done is make two beautiful looking towers. One of them having a bell inside of it, and the other one is very magical. Let's just quickly fly up, and you might already spot a couple of other changes. But yes, this tower is looking absolutely magical and beautiful. And the only thing missing is a bit of a ceiling, and of course that netherrack needs to go as well. But I want to have a fog effect, and I'll eventually put that in here. But for now, let's continue the tour. You can already see the bell over there, but what else has happened? Well, those two towers aren't the only ones that were made. I have made a watchtower over here overlooking the ocean, making sure that no people are going to invade this beautiful castle and this amazing island. And yeah, at this point, there's really no way around it. I have to show you these buildings. Even though they came much later, they were built, well, mostly all the same, but wow, does this look like a pretty village to me. Of course, we are still missing quite a few details, like, grass and different things. For example, like we have this little pond over here with a beautiful tree and a couple of axolotls swimming in there, which actually won't escape despite this waterfall going here because of these two walls. It actually prevents them from going into the ocean. But we made this little water wheel house thingy. We made a lighthouse. We made an Italian restaurant because I couldn't resist and I needed a pizza. And let's see what else. We have this bigger house with a couple of stalls. We have this slightly different looking house. Yeah. I'm not sure why this is the only one, and I don't know what's going to be in here, but we'll say it's a special house. I have built a little inn over here, which currently, as most buildings, doesn't have any interior. We'll get to that. And over here is second harbor, which has a giant crane and a lot of storage boxes. And I am absolutely loving this build, by the way, and the overall look of it. And I don't think it was very visible when I was showing the lighthouse, but we have an active end crystal right inside of it. And it's invulnerable. I could hit it. I am not going to. I'm always afraid that they're going to change something in the code that makes it able to, explode. But right now, this is doing exactly what I want. And here we are in the end because I have done something here as well. I have made another map art. And this was for the Italian restaurant. I had to create a little bit of a menu just, to add that little bit of a touch. And here it is. In case you're wondering why these are different, this is snow and this is white carpet. And on a map it doesn't look any different, which is exactly why I decided at one point, you know what, forget about these carpets, I'm going to cover it with snow. And that was very easy, because I have a few idiots over here which are apparently just trying to hit Enderman even though they're not going to succeed. Those guys can teleport, just quit it already. But this is the menu for the Italian restaurant, and then there's one more thing, which is in the nether. And the easiest way to show you is to break out of the nether hub and just admire this view. I'm still wondering if I should remove the fortress, but on the other hand I think it looks cool just floating over here. And of course not everything is gone, there's the normal nether right over here, almost as if nothing happened, and then over here it is a giant crater. And I know some of you might be wondering, this was done with a lot of gravel and sand and quite a bit of TNT duping. I don't think my sanity would have been able to do this if it were just me mining every single block. But as you can imagine, yep, this area is looking pretty full. Pretty dangerous, because I already can see people are shooting at me. But let's just go and try out the farm, I would say. That's going to be exciting. I have done it once and the drops were pretty crazy. But now you guys get to see it too. And currently there is still quite a little bit of junk in here. We have 6 skulls, that's what matters. And let's just... okay. Well, we can wait for a couple more mobs to fall in here. I'm sure there will be quite a few in a second. We haven't got any blazes here, for example, just quite yet. Well, maybe blazes have despawned and... oh, no, there's one there. But you can see the insane amount of mobs over here. Let's kill them, because entity cramming is getting to them. There we go. Alright. Now I'm seeing a skull over there that just got picked up, and we have 8 now. Very nice. And let me just put this in here as well. We already had this gold ingot, I'm not going to count that, but look how many drops are pouring in. And just like that, we already have more victims that are going to get the blade. So maybe at this point you are wondering, what is left to do for me? Well, quite a lot actually, and considering that Mojang is updating Minecraft pretty frequently, like 2 updates came out while I was away, which also means we have to check out those features, but it also means that we are going to receive more and more features that I will, for example, have to farm, use for minigames, etc. And speaking of minigames, of course there is Moggy Dungeon over here, which isn't done. We still have to get through the Skulk theme and then through all the redstone. And now that it is night, I'm going to show you what this place looks like at night. And I absolutely love this. This is looking like a proper base right now, and I am still so speechless. I honestly don't know what to say, other than wow. However, like I mentioned, these buildings over here, they don't have interior. I did start a little bit on interior, but that's about it. And not even every house has this interior, like most of them at this point do. But if we, for example, go like, I'm pretty sure this house doesn't. Yeah, this house definitely doesn't. And it only has a floor, which some of them don't even have that yet. I have a feeling I haven't shown off this yet in any of my videos. It has been like this for a while now, but 2 copper golems somehow got on board, well, 3 copper golems somehow got on board of this ship, and 2 of them received flowers from this big guy, who has seen better days. You might also be noticing that a lot of the villagers, if not all of them, are gone. They probably met their maker. However, these guys are all still here, not to worry. But that does mean that maybe one thing we should do is connect that villager breeder in the Batcave area to somewhere over there, so that the villagers can walk out and onto this platform over here. There's a bell here, so they should all gather around it once a day. And there are workstations around, but currently it's not something I'm going to do. But I'm going to leave it at that for this little tour of everything that has been done. Of course, minor things have been done as well, and I'm very excited for what's coming next. Just like that, while in the video half a second has passed, in real life it has been about 3 weeks maybe. Yeah, I went on vacation with Sandy. It was fun. We went to the Netherlands, you know, where I used to live. But now it is time to get back to recording. And what I'm thinking of doing, and because I don't want this episode to be too long, we did a lot of, you know, touring at the start of this episode. What if we just continued just building the interiors of the houses? Because right now it is looking pretty unfinished, and I don't think it will require too much thinking on my part. And I'm sure I'm going to get to the exterior and, well, terrain rather, in a moment as well. But we'll see if we actually get to that this episode. I do want to do the interiors like I just mentioned, and yeah, that needs to be done for all of these builds. Let's just start with one of the basic houses, and immediately I can already tell you we still need to fix this wall. Now that wall is done, let's see the upstairs. We need a ceiling, and we also need to fix the walls a little bit here and there, just like that. And I'm thinking we'll just have slabs like that across the ceiling, maybe in a different color. Let's see, I do have dark oak as well, so what if we just make a couple of slabs from that? We do need to remove that little light source, but we'll put it back later. Let's see, is this going to look good, or is this absolutely the worst idea I've ever come up with? I think it's fine. I'm honestly not too certain about this one. Maybe the spruce really is just the better one in this case, even though it is the exact same as the walls. Yeah, probably better, to be honest. And we can still do a little bit of stuff over here. Maybe what I'll do is pick up some leaves, because of course greenery makes everything look a lot nicer. And you'll probably notice that in my base as well. Unfortunately, I don't really have much here. For example, that one makes the room a bit nicer. So what if we just pick up a little bit of that and recreate that inside of those houses? Now we do need the azalea leaves and the flowering ones, but we don't really need a light source here, so I'll just do this. Let's see, I know my inventory is already getting very cluttered, and just gonna do that. Looks good, I would have to say. And maybe over here we can have a little bit of a table and a chair, just like this, nothing too complicated. And maybe bookshelf. Where do we want to put it? Instead of this, we could have the bookshelf over here. Not sure about that. Maybe just over here? I guess that would work. Bookshelf there, there, there. Alright. And let's add a light on the table. So we actually have a bit of brightness in the bottom room. And can we add anything else? I still have these shulker boxes. I know it is an absolute mess in my inventory. Let's see. I wouldn't suggest adding any of this stuff. Or even this stuff. Let's just say that this build is done. And the other houses are probably going to look just like this one. Maybe have a painting over there. That would actually be nice, I think. Let's see, what painting do we want? It needs to be a 2x1 or a 1x1. Let's see. Not these kind of 2x1s. It's a 1x2 rather. Like this one. Is that the only one? Let's see. No. Let's go for this one. I don't know what this one looks like. So, let's see. That's a bit too high. Let's try that again. Alright. Yep, I would say that's good. And with most of these houses done, I think we can move on to another place. And the next one that I want to fill up is the Italian restaurant. Now, what are we going to need to do here? Well, we have quite a few things that I want to do. For example, we do need a little kitchen area, which I think will fit in nicely over here. I do want an upstairs area, but I also want a way to get to this door over here. So maybe have like a staircase going up here, little platform, and then maybe another staircase over here somewhere. Let's see what we can do. That's a good start. We can... Do we want to use full planks over here though? No, I'll use this, and what I might do is maybe have some map art going all the way across here, or maybe just on this wall. I'm not sure yet. And it can kind of give it a transition. So while the map art might not be in yet, or maybe I won't even put it in, we at least have some floors. That actually leads to the balcony over there, and this one leads all the way up here. Now, yes, there is no ceiling in place just yet. You know that this is the roof, and it doesn't look that good. But what I want to do real quick is add a couple of chairs, a table, etc. And we're going to do the same that we have outside. The outside ones though do look like this, and as you can imagine we won't be needing this, so just a table and the chairs. Maybe even smaller tables than what we had already. But for that, of course, we do need to do a little bit of crafting. Let's see. Do we have... Yes, we have sticks over here. And that way we can make some bamboo fences. So I was able to squeeze in 2 tables and 5 chairs over here. I probably could add one more here. But I don't want to obscure the path too much. Just like I don't want to obscure this one. So let's just go to the second floor and add a couple in place here too. Now what we do need to keep in mind is that this should not be visible. I'm thinking maybe I'll add some carpet on top here. So best case scenario, let's have a chair here. Maybe here. Not exactly too close to the stairs, but still within distance. And let's just add one to the side like this. And so just like that, this place is now finished too. We got the tables, the floors, the kitchen, and even some light in certain places. Now yeah, the top floor is very bright, whereas these lower ones, not as much. And that's unfortunately gotta do with this. the fact that you cannot hang lights from half a block. One thing we can do, however, is... well, not that. I mean, it's got the spirit, but... yeah, if this was the same, we could have done that. However, we could still do this. Let's maybe add one in the window, just on the floor. That's also an option. But yeah, I quite like this idea of just a slab sticking out with the lantern on top. I think that's good enough. And with that, that is gonna be it for me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first episode in a long time. And if you did, then you know what to do. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye!